You're good. You're good now.
I'm the loud one out of us.
I love it.
I'm a Brooklyn guy, so
It used to be. It
was
called Pegasus.
I'm sorry.
what you want to do? Let's go.
3.
Okay. All right.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Season 2 Bobby Kicks. All right. Now, we've been going on angles. We've been going here. We've been doing here. But we're in L.A. right now.
Venice Beach.
Venice Beach.
Yes.
Right. And I have these two immaculate guests right here.
Yes.
We're going to introduce these guys, right?
Yes.
But let's clap it up to Season 2 right now, guys.
Season 2, man. I mean, we're taking this show on the road, and so far the welcome has been awesome from everyone that we've met so far, the live streams,
Yes.
Through the DMs,
Yes.
through even just in public, man. Like,
Yes.
the love has been awesome.
Yes.
Seth, Bijan, you guys have shown so much respect and so love through Instagram. This is our first time meeting.
Yeah. And I just want to say, Seth, for those who don't know,
Okay.
is soul to soul.
The soul to soul.
At soul to soul.
Yes.
Bijan is at Dr. Swoosh.
Plain and simple.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And honestly, like, I'm so flattered that you guys wanted to do this with us. We made the trip over here because we believed that we wanted to tell an awesome story for everyone. You know, we always talk about stories internally here and there. So this is our time to really shine. But like you say, this is your world and we're living in it. So you brought some awesome gear with you. There's a lot to cover here. So we're going to really let you just shine. And we're here not just to show our, our height because we're, just on top of anything else. We're here because we want to observe from up top the things that you have to show. So this, yeah, exactly right. So that's why we're up. So it's not to, to downplay anything else. We're here because we want to see what you have to offer. So like I said, you have the table and, to start us off, introduction, right? So Seth, if you don't mind.
Well, first of all, hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for having me and us here. Bijan, it's great to see you again. I've known Bijan for 20 years almost from Nike Town Soul Collector, Las Vegas. Long story short, I'm from South Florida, Miami born and raised, Boca Raton, when it was the 305.
Nice.
Moved to LA in the late 80s. What a time to be in SoCal.
Late 80s.
During
Magic. You talk Showtime.
Yep, Showtime with the Lakers.
Yes,
although I am partial to the Sixers, but long story short, just my mom was a school teacher, and I, fell in love with sneakers in the early to mid 90s, but I, could not afford them growing up in elementary school. It's a common story. I'm sure others can relate. But I always enjoyed observing what others were wearing.
Yes.
The Jordan 6 in third grade, Kenner Canyon Elementary School. But anyway, playing tennis, that was my first love for sport.
Hell yeah.
And I see Bobby came correct with the Agassi fit today. But, I just, I'm happy to be here. I brought some vintage gems from my collection. I've been collecting for 25 years or so. And, hopefully we have some fun and we will learn a little bit about history and some things that we don't normally see today. So that's a little bit about me.
And real quick, Seth and I connected through Instagram. And when I first started my account, Bobby Kicks was an idea just to showcase some of my collection, right? And we connected because you saw something that I was really into. And that's the beauty about, stuff like this is that we connect through the love of like the stories behind our kicks and the gear, right? Yeah. And honestly, we nerd it out all the time between like the Agassi and the Jordans and the Damon Stoudemire and Tim Hardaway and all these awesome players. And I know I gave some hints, but you have some awesome gear. I'm excited, to happy to showcase, but for sure.
And sorry, before we get to you, just real quick with you, right? When he told me he was connected to you, I was like, wait a minute. I've been following Soul to Soul for like 8 years on the gram.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. I've been on for a bit.
You've been on for a bit,
just steady posting, strict vintage.
Yes, sir.
Some of these pairs I've had for a long time, and I appreciate the support. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you guys. I support you guys, and just happy to be here.
Thank you for seeing the significance of what we're doing.
Yeah,
appreciate
you. Definitely bring value, and I love as an OG guy, as an OG collector. I see what you're doing. I believe in your vision. And,
Awesome.
You know, and I knew it's like I told Bobby earlier, first time meeting you guys, but I feel like I've known you guys for a while.
Natural. It's natural.
That's how you meet the people in the shoe world that have been around a long time.
100%.
Yes, sir. Perfect segue. Let the world know about Dr. Swoosh.
So my name is Bijan, born and raised in L.A. Lived around the country throughout life because of career, but born and raised here. I've been a Jordan fan, diehard, since long time ago. Since as long as I can remember.
Now, wait a minute. You were born and raised in L.A. and you were a Jordan fan.
Yeah. My whole family is Laker fans.
Okay.
But my oldest sister was a Jordan fan and kind of got me onto that.
Gotcha.
That was when I was probably 5 years old or so.
Nice.
And so every picture, you look at my childhood pictures, I'm always wearing black and red. My parents, again, like couldn't afford the jersey, couldn't afford the shoes. But so I wore like black and red, whatever I could get. So that was like my jersey, basically.
Samesies.
So the same story. That's what got me into shoes in general. Was love the Jordan 11, black and red, best shoe ever made in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shoe that I would die in. Put it that way. Favorite shoe of all time.
Jordan 11, black and red. I call those the crown floors.
It is.
Father's Day crown floor. That's the motion.
Yeah, he's correct. That's my favorite shoe by far. So that's what got me into it. And then just coming up, seeing things like Nike Talk. Like that's where like we used to all get together.
Yes.
Nike Talk. That built the whole
For the
community.
gram, or any social media, it was Nike. So
Nobody knew anything outside of Nike Talk. Like that was our world essentially for shoe collecting.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what got me into it. Appreciate you guys having me here.
Thank you. How long you been collecting, roughly? Like
Since 1999.
99.
Oh yeah, I mean, 5 years.
That's crazy. 1999 is already freaking 20 years ago.
Young teenager getting into
Dude.
I always think back, I'm like 1996, 1997. I remember what I was doing, and then it's like already like a decade, you know, like what, it's already 30, 20 years.
99 for me was my.
I said graduated high school in 99. Then also remember that Y2K scare.
Right. You're
You're not going to have water, you know, so that's cool.
This is how crazy it was. I used to get $10 allowance for the whole week for food.
Wow.
Right? Wow. And I used to not spend it on food. I would save $10 a week, 15 weeks to buy one pair of shoes.
That's
That's how.
that's the Kickstory right there.
Yeah. That's like how my origins, put it that way.
That's dope. That's dope.
Sweet, man.
Let's go ahead, Bob.
No, I was going to say, honestly, like, thank you again, guys. Honestly, like, you know, for us to really get together like this, meet each other, like you said, you know, it's like we've known each other for a while, and I feel that right away. And you have graciously gone into your vaults to pull out some really unique and very sensitive, you know, collection pieces, you know? So I'm just excited to get started on that, too.
You know what? I'm excited, and we're going to dive deep into that, but we gotta hear, how did you decide what to bring right now? Like, what was that process like?
So basically, it's been a while since I've done a group meetup, but whenever I meet someone new, I always try to think about what they want, what they love, or what would resonate with them.
Okay.
Or in this case, with you guys. So I brought about maybe 15, 17 pairs sourced across different eras, 80s and 90s.
Nice.
Okay, or
Different countries.
yeah.
Nice.
And each pair I brought is from a different part of the world. I've sourced pairs from, you know, Asia, from Europe. It's really endless. And they find their way into my home, and many of these pairs have been with me for a while. So when I think about it, I also, because I love my stuff, but it's like I want to also, you know, think about the audience and who I'm meeting and what jives or resonates with them. Plus, before being here, I asked you guys, like, you know, just to get a better sense of you guys, what resonates or is part of your story too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I do. I just put myself in the other person's shoes too, because I can't bring it all, you know?
Let me tell you something.
But anyway.
Let me tell you something. The fact that you're wearing that authentic Sixers champion, because you know I love authentics, right? So you just pay attention to all the details. Then you're a Sixers fan, so I just got to salute you on that threads right there.
I got this authentic Kickstory.
Oh,
You have
I got here.
authentic Kickstory threads.
Nice. One of a kind.
What was your journey coming here and deciding just what to bring, man?
I was a little more selfish. He thought about you guys. I thought about, like, why did I get into shoes? And
Perfect.
What things stayed with me? Because, like Seth, once I get something, a lot of times is never leaving. So I brought some stuff that's more like, I didn't bring black and red 11s because I figured I'd go a little more unique than that.
Cool.
That makes it.
I brought some shoes that are like significant in my life. We'll put it that way.
Nice. Perfect. Well said. All right, man. Seth,
It's showtime.
I want to open up the floor to you.
Okay.
So
We in
whichever.
LA, it's showtime.
So I'm just going to reach in. This has not been, pre-recorded. I didn't want to put anything on the table. I just want to reach in and then place and then. So let's just go ahead.
Also, guys, Bobby Kicks and I have no idea what they got.
Exactly right.
That's right. Full transparency and disclosure. So we're just going to go right to it. And so tennis was my first sport. Growing up in South Florida, like you're literally born with a tennis racket, in your hand. And Andre Agassi is my hero. I'm getting a little chalked up right now. Sport hero, sport icon. He was a rebel with the cause. Bobby came correct. He's got his beautiful kid. But basically, this is part of my own Kickstory because I was in 8th grade on the junior varsity. I wasn't good enough for varsity, but junior varsity tennis team at Buckley, and there's a small school in the Valley, San Fernando Valley. And I wore the 1995 Air Challenge LWP, designed by Wilson Smith, who's been with Nike for 30 plus years. And this was the model that Andre won when he was world number 1 in 1995. One of the greatest Nike commercials, the Gorilla Tennis, which we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
This was the model that he wore. Very lightweight. It's part of the lightweight performance line.
Wow.
It has never been brought back. I don't know if it ever will. Very, from an aesthetic and performance standpoint, very lightweight.
Very, very, very fiery.
Yep. Very. Yeah.
Like this is like he's on fire. This is like, and it compliment the logo.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning the logo. The Challenge Court Flaming logo designed by Tom Andrich, who's a legend in graphic design for Nike. Yes. And I'll give nods to some other designers for some other pairs I brought, but the detailing is insane, very aggressive, just a very distinctive model. And as a little aside, Michael Jordan, when he was coming back to the Bulls, right, he wore the brick colorway, which is a grail. I do not have everything. I'm always looking. But the point, and that's the thing about grails, you're always looking. Hunters hunt. There's always another one that right? But, Jordan wore this off court casually.
Coming out the Corvette.
Yeah, I'm out of the Corvette at Trackcenter. Yeah. So this is the first one. I'm just picking and grabbing. This is one of my all-time favorite models in my collection.
My favorite part is this.
The mesh vent.
Yeah, these vent ideas, honestly, like the vent idea was so unique, at that time, really create that ventilation,
Is it a full Huarache sock liner?
Yeah, it's got the dynamic sleeve inner booty and neoprene, great upper, a very, form follows function, so it hugs the foot, heel and forefoot air.
That's kind of the dogma of that time, right?
And it has,
for sure.
It has that DRC,
durable rubber compound. Yeah, you can't kill it, man. That is, high density rubber. It'll help with the toe dragging on the court. That is, in my opinion, one of the all-time greatest sneakers ever made. From a performance and tech standpoint, it was ahead of its time, and I don't think it's ever coming back because most people today just don't care about tennis, although I think that they should.
Yeah.
And I said to T earlier that everything comes new again.
Yep.
That things are brought back over time. Sometimes it takes longer.
Yep.
I think today, if they were to try it, I think that there would be an opportunity. It's a very unique looking model at profile, very aggressive looking.
Yeah.
The black and copper colorway hits differently. You don't see that color combination today.
This is so 90s for sure, so late 90s. I remember Agassi wore the that nice collared polo with the it was like a copper color too, right? Black and white or black and copper. Great condition, first of all. Great condition.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. What's that?
It's probably the best condition.
Honestly,
Super crazy.
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing about this pair. I mentioned earlier that when you're a collector, they either come from friends or different parts of the world. This pair, excuse me, I'm getting chalked up. My friend Austin found this pair for I think $100 on either Etsy or Poshmark. A good friend of mine, huge tennis guy, one time for my man Austin from Australia. But the point is, he had another pair, same size as me, size 12. He had one pair already that he wore, and he doubled up. But that was a grail. I didn't have that colorway. Wow. And Andre wore that colorway.
Yeah.
And, Austin posted it, dead stock, never worn, absolutely pristine condition. Very rare today to find. Very scarce. A very scarce model today.
There you go.
In that size and condition.
Wow. Period.
I offered, I don't want to say the price, but I made an offer, like I'm all in. Like,
Yep.
went all in, and, he was hesitant about it because that's his favorite model too. Huge tennis guy. He later came back to me and is like, Seth, I thought about it. My wife, what is this and that? And he's like, you know what? Just pay me what you paid for it. And he came over. He delivered it to me about maybe 2 years ago.
Yep.
Nice.
The relationships that people, especially like longer term guys, collectors, the sneakers open up. You get to meet people. And they see that you really love and that it can fit into another home, but it means the world to me. And that's how I was able to bring, this pair. It's the only pair I have in that colorway. I'll cherish it forever, man. So
Another detail that I love about this, honestly, I smell it. I smell 1990s right here. And that's one of the things I in my collection. When I open up the box, I'm like, I smell that department store. It's a time machine.
Yeah.
And just by me simply just like smelling, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd about that, but that's just
classic model.
Yeah.
Classic.
It hits all the senses. It hits all the senses.
Classic Kickstory. What you got for us, man? What you
In
can
light of, since we're starting with some vintage stuff.
Okay. We're gonna take turns now, like this.
Yep, we going back and forth. It's like give and go basketball.
So
Classic box.
This is
OG
one of Seth's favorite shoes too. A lot of the older guys, we talk about how we love mid-90s turf.
Okay.
That was like
Okay.
the best, right?
Yep.
Like Zoom Jet, Zoom,
Yeah.
Superfly, all these shoes. Even Dion's, if you want to consider them turf.
Yep.
So when I was not first collecting, but maybe a couple of years in, I got really into turf. And sort of the shoe that I remember from my childhood, because Dion was my favorite athlete. Oh, it was Jordan and Dion. That's why my Grail shoe is a Dion 11 PE, right? My first selling. But I also like Brett Favre, right? Brett
Okay.
He's a slinger, right? So I
Green Bay.
loved Brett Favre. So this was Brett Favre's, not really his signature, but like he was wearing these.
Yes.
Oh, look at the
This
condition.
is the Zoom Jet. Condition might be, honestly, just like that pair, might be the best pair that
Oh my
still
gosh.
has
This is 99.
I gotta smell these.
Is this 99?
97-ish.
97.
This is 97.
And let me say, as a Patriots and Drew Bledsoe fan, this hurts me a lot, but I respect the heritage and the model. But yeah.
One thing I remember about this era of Nike, this era of Zoom Air, that tend to wear, right? But that Zoom Air was so bouncy.
Yeah.
Like the retros they making now doesn't have that same pop. This was just bouncy. Yeah.
Yeah, these were awesome. I mean, the metallic kind of bug eye.
I know. I love that. You see that on the 95s, the Flight 95s. You see that, the turbulence and all these different things. I'm like, where did that come from? I love that design, right?
This is like 90s nostalgia.
Yes. I'm smelling it, man. I'm like,
You feel the materials. Like nothing is made like this anymore.
No.
And that's why it's held up to time.
Yeah.
true.
I'm not knocking on wood, right? Because even the glue is holding on these, right? That's, well,
This is a.
and then the sole is still even.
Yeah, I love those little nipples. I always call
These
them
nipples up. That's his thing. This flare, right? This flare that kind of mimics that to a degree.
Yep.
Right. It speaks football. It speaks football. This speaks football. Like I'm looking at this, like this is a performance turf football.
Look at the inner. What does that remind you of? The liner.
The liner.
Right here. Look at it.
It has like
But the LeBrons, remember how the LeBrons have that like plush liner inside?
Yeah, but this, which was in
The diamond shaped one.
well, the LeBrons they mimic the Nike Pro Combat.
Oh yeah.
Right, that Pro Combat pad.
It just reminded me of that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so plush too.
I'm feeling this, and once again, I'm not an OG collector, right? But this goes down my memory lane.
Of course.
You hit it on the head. Did they retro these?
Yeah, they didn't do them right, but I mean, this color was not retro.
Right. It was like orange and all.
This color, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
The orange one was sick too.
Yeah, I like the orange combination. I like it's great.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The retro pair that's popularized was the Barry Sanders code,
Yeah.
right? That blue Detroit lanes, right?
It wasn't really the right color, but yeah, similar. The colors were right, but the colored palettes.
I had that pair as a kid. I have a picture of me.
This is
that pair.
man.
They still make it like that no more, man.
What I love about the design back then, like in the late 90s, like this football shoe, when you see this, you know it's a football shoe. It looks tough. It looks aggressive. Nike did a great job of distinguishing like performance, like for specific sports and so on. Even at a glance, even if you didn't know what shoes were, you can see like, okay, this is for...
Especially with the aggressive.
You know, these nipples here. You know.
So you can have a couple cleated pairs too, and
Hell yeah.
the cleated pairs are still holding up too.
I like the patina. You could see, I don't know if the camera can see it, but there you could see a little bit of the oxidation of the glue. Even the outsole tread has a little bit of a coloration just due to the natural. You know, it's interesting. Everything's coming out now with artificial oxidation. It's like, why not just get the original product? Natural.
Because they want to wear it. You know, they want to wear it.
I like that.
I like that they're doing that now because it kind of makes it okay that your shoes are turning yellow, degrading.
You know what I mean?
It makes you not feel ashamed. I know that's Bobby Kick's name.
You see how they caught up to me? I didn't mind the scuffs. I didn't mind the yellowing. I didn't mind tying my shoes all tight and like, you know, I'm like, hey, they're freaking for basketball. I'm gonna wear them for basketball.
I'm the whole opposite. I want my bottoms icy, right? And that's just because I'm not wearing them for performance. Not at this age.
I used to hate seeing Concords that were yellow. Like I would, like
they used to drive me crazy too.
The Columbias, like
Columbias when they turn yellow.
Yeah,
they're so sick for like 2 weeks.
And then they're yellow.
Those are kind of weird.
The Columbia patent leather turn yellow. I'm like,
that's a tough look.
but wait a minute, we just getting started.
Yes,
like we just getting started, and look at these classics that these guys are bringing.
Okay,
right? I mean,
and this is the tip of the iceberg.
Of course.
The world is yours, guys. You guys are controlling the narrative,
And we're going back and forth. We're going back. All right, Seth, what do you got?
What you guys?
Well, I think it's only appropriate since Bobby literally just mentioned the model that I brought today. This is one of Bobby's personal favorites, and I'm hoping that some of the viewers may remember this particular one.
Yeah.
But this is the Turbulence Flight, the Nike Air Flight Turbulence. This is classic, quintessential, iconic mid-90s Nike hoops. I mean, there's so many guys for that model back. I just did a post on Terrell Brandon.
Yes.
Great mid-90s point guard from Portland. He's one of many guys, Gary Payton, of Mighty Mouse, Damone Stoudemire, many other guys as well. But this is one of Aaron Cooper's designs.
Aaron Cooper,
legend of his own, of course, and one time for AC.
Hell yeah.
But Bobby loves the Turbulence Flight, and you guys have talked about patent leather.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I see. Are you guys doing this on purpose? Because you guys, I see flares. I see turf bottoms.
Yeah.
Mimic turf. Are you guys doing this on purpose? You guys had a strategy?
No, just
the connection.
Yeah, no.
That's it.
That is just on the plane of enlightenment.
That's it.
This shoe was designed to court. They were trying to court somebody.
Yeah. So interestingly, the word is that Iverson was allegedly that this model was going to be made for or designed for AI as his first model back in the day. Obviously, that didn't happen. He signed with Reebok, but nonetheless, just a very aggressive, look at profile. You have the lateral, stabilizer, on the lateral aspect. Very lightweight, basic tech, Air Zoom Flight 5, for the 4-foot tread and traction. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest Aaron Cooper designs. It hasn't been retroed. I don't know if it will. But like I said, when I was deciding what to bring, you can't bring it all. But and I wanted to stay away from polyurethane. But I mean, I thought of Bobby in that regard because this means a lot to him. Yeah. And I didn't have it back in the day. I do remember seeing some people in high school, wearing it on the court. It's an iconic look. And I'm not sure if it'll ever come back, maybe as a Supreme collab, maybe.
Pretty much.
But I've seen the purple version that they made for some of the...
I've seen pictures.
It's a pair on eBay right now. I think it's size 15 and a half. And always be checking eBay. You never know what you may find.
That's crazy.
So,
Only on eBay.
This shoe has a personal story for me, too. It's kind of funny.
Let's do it.
So
Middle school, right? Where I'm playing basketball and the ball gets stuck between the backboard and the rim.
Yeah.
So you have to get it down. But none of us could dunk, right?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine had those exact shoes on, and he took his shoe off and threw it to get the hoop to get the ball down, and the shoe went on the roof.
Oh,
So He had no shoes for the rest of the day.
Always in my
Every time I see that.
That's funny. It's the roof shoes.
That's right.
See, this shoe right here, and thank you for bringing this out, because yes, this is one of my favorite freaking shoes. I didn't have them as a kid, but my best friend had them. And I was like, this patent leather caught my attention. I was like, okay, there's something here. Like, this is so beautiful looking. And I fell in love with them. And then years later, I found them, and I still wear them. The pair that I have, my vintage pair, I wear them. They're wearable. I see a little bit of a separation, but I'm okay with that because I want to wear them. I got a restorer that can, hook me up, but I want to enjoy them. So, I mean, this is beautiful, like you said.
Beautiful looking shoe. And one thing, this is the days of me playing basketball. I'm look at the lockdown.
Yeah.
When you choke these shoes and you ready to get in the court, you just have this
love that. Yeah.
This real tight lockdown that really snugs your feet. So I see the vision. I see the vision, and this the design itself.
So if you got to pick between that shoe and a Reebok question.
Oh man, you know what? I'll be honest, and I did bring one Reebok today just to give a little bit of variety, versatility. Sure. The Reebok question, I do not own. I'm actually looking for a dead stock vintage original pair, but I'm a Nike guy. I'm a Nike head. I'm a Nike head, right?
Nike.
I mean, I just in that regard, I just have to. Yeah, go with the turbulence.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I can't see Iverson wear these. I don't know. I just can't. It's hard to imagine.
You can see it because he wore Concords.
He did, and that's actually the inspiration. You're right. He's like exactly right. And we talked about it in our episode that he wore the Concords during the Hoya years.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to kind of carry that over and kind of bring him in to Nike, right? So it's crazy. But
Now, I'm Nike through and through, but there's one shoe from Reebok that I love, and it's a Reebok question. And I would probably say the question was the right move.
wow, okay.
Probably the only time I'll ever say that.
Interesting.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
But the actual.
We'll talk more about
Thank
it.
you. Yes.
But there's one more cue I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
And when we think about the word takedown, like the less expensive version,
Yeah.
takedowns. That's what. This has to be one of the greatest takedowns ever created. And Aaron always had price point in mind, very economical, and you got a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, this is easily more constructed in terms of materials compared to today's more expensive models. I mean, this would definitely hold its own in terms of materials, construction, upper and such. But one of my favorite cues is the flight cursive logo. Details matter, just proportions, ratio, man. So I had to, when I'm going through, I'm like, I have to bring the turbulence, and this one's for Bobby. So
Yes. Thank you very much. One great point that you made. The takedowns back in the 90s are premium today.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's crazy how the quality, I understand it's a business and they want to save money here and there. I'm like, but I hope they retro them. If they do a Supreme, honestly, I think I would buy them. Just like I bought the Supreme.
You bought the Supreme, but
No. It's not the Supreme. I fell in love with the model.
So we got the quality from our childhood and all that.
Yeah.
The kids now have the colorways.
Yeah.
True. Because the colorways are
In the collabs. Yeah.
Variety.
All right, man. It's your world. We living in it.
I'll use pick a box.
Okay. Right in the box.
Any box.
I'll tell you it's the wrong one.
Let's go right here.
Oh, no, not this one. That's for later.
Oh, okay, got it. Let's go over here then.
Let's go over here. So this is a very historic
Shoe for me.
Okay.
So
Hey.
They used to do these competitions, Soul Collector.
Yeah, so close. Yeah.
And so they would give rarest shoe an award. They would give overall collection a shoe. Person who won for the overall collection had a shoe made for them for Nike, like a one of one. That was
What year are we talking right now?
This is 2003 to 6.
Okay.
Around the time.
Okay.
So I won rarest shoe at Nike Town, LA, because I had I had Seattle. And it's ironic because I happened to be in Seattle. Only reason I was there was because my sister had cancer, was going through treatment.
Wow.
And I donated bone marrow for her.
Wow.
Only reason I was in Seattle. Never would have gone.
Wow.
Like, definitely wasn't going to go on a trip at, that young age.
Yep.
We didn't have money to be going on trips, right? So the only reason I was in Seattle is because my sister had cancer, and I donated bone marrow for her at the Hutchinson Center, actually.
How's she doing?
She's great. Yeah, she's alive and well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's the only reason I was there. And I brought like 6 or 7 shoes, like whatever I could pack, singles even, kind of like what you did, just for convenience because I was flying there.
Right.
And so I won rarest shoe because I had a Wu-Tang dog.
Oh,
And so I was invited to the final.
yeah.
Right?
Nice.
And some people think that the competition culture ruins shoes, but that was the old man's issue right now.
Yeah.
The whole world has changed now, right?
Yeah.
So I was in the Vegas competition as a part. I didn't win anything, but because I was there, Nike made 2 versions of the Dunk that they released. So they made the high top version, which was all white with a burgundy midsole, pink bottom, and that was sold at the event. I forget the exact number of pairs. It's written on them. But then they made sort of like a hyper strike, 48 pairs or so, for the people who were involved, the competitors, the people who sold.
They gave it to you for free, or you had the opportunity to buy them?
No, these were free.
Nice.
So I bought the Nike high top
Yep.
Dunk, but
Yep.
this one they gave us for free.
And just to reiterate, clarify, this sneaker you're about to show us was 1 of 28?
I think 48 they made or so. Yeah, I think the guys that were involved are still collector.
In the world.
Yeah.
The world.
So this one has a number 36, size 11. It has my name on it. Be a married competitor. So
Come on now. Are we about to see something 1 of 48? Let's just say 1 of 50.
See, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
there's a sizing reason why it's 48. They made 24 or 48 usually for the hyper strikes.
Yeah.
It's a production thing. But a lot of these Soul Collector, or all of them, they came in the Nike ID, Nike
ID,
boxes
classic.
from that era,
Yeah.
right? Because they were designed.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, right off the bat, the leather looks freaking phenomenal. Leather looks badass.
Ah.
Kind of an embossed leather. These are not the laces that came with it. They came with black laces.
The world hasn't seen this.
No, people have seen these, but yeah, it has the date of the competition, July 22nd, 06. That was the day of the Vegas competition. And then this logo, the sort of the person with the beams coming out of it with the shoe on the head, sneaker head.
I was like, oh,
This was all over the one that released, right? It was part of they had a reflective upper that had these logos built into them. It's an awesome shoe.
the inner liner, man, it's all leather, premium stuff. Yeah, I love that burgundy. Yeah, that burgundy, yeah. The burgundy is clean.
Pink is like such a nice touch.
It is.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the original pair, the pair that released, was the same bottom, but the top was completely different. It was white and reflective and was awesome in its own sense. And I have them too because I was there.
Jeez.
But this pair is special to me because I was able to compete. I was able to show up in Seattle that day just by chance. Happened to be, imagine like the odds. My sister's getting cancer treatment the same weekend that this competition happened to be going, and I happened to be going there, and I happened to win, and I happened to, right? It's like all these Swiss cheese model, right? Like everything else. Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
So I was able to do that. Yeah, so that means a lot to me. This shoe.
This is, you know what? We have a lot of guys that are dunk heads. Like they love that follow. They love dunk. So I'm pretty sure those that are watching, you dunk heads out here that follow us, this is you either know you or you don't.
The build right off the bat is different than anything I've seen. The build automatically, it's premium, but the shape looks a little different to me. You know,
It's kind of got like the 07 timeline had this kind
Okay.
of shape to it. It's like Air Force.
Yeah. Is this that premium like the pink box dunk era? The
This is around there, yeah.
right because they had
a little bit
specific boxes that represented
That was for the SB
that
stuff.
bees
for
more,
sure.
right?
I'm loving the quality, the materials that they added on this.
This is a shocker. Like I didn't expect this.
That texture is really cool.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
embossament's nice.
yeah,
The
yeah.
colorway is just, and I love black shoes with like a lighter sole.
Okay.
Perfect shoe for me.
Okay.
One shoe has the date, and the other shoe has the logo. Sort of.
Take your head.
Jeez. Oh my gosh, we I felt like we've seen like 10 shoes. We only seen 4.
All right. We got a long way to go.
That is actually on my. When we talk about grails,
Yeah, let's put these back.
this is a grail for me. I own a few of the Soul Collector models, but that particular, they only made a handful, like Bijan said. I was at the event. Bijan was there. A few other people were there, as that I remember. But I love that burgundy. I like reds,
Yeah.
I love
It's
that.
clean.
Yeah.
Clean. And then that
It's a nice glass of wine or something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about these that I just thought of. So there was somebody selling them on Instagram, a size, I think it was an 11 or 12, I don't remember. But I tried to get it because I wanted a second pair to wear.
Yeah,
And then I didn't get it, which I forgot about at the time, but I posted these. And some random person was like, "Oh, you just bought those. You weren't part of the competition." I'm like, okay, and then the box has my name on it. Okay, guy.
It's all good.
Sorry
I mean,
about that.
that's fine.
Wow, that's cool.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, what do you got to top that?
It's going to be very hard to follow up with that because when we talk about rare and scarce, and we talked about it earlier, like most of the things that I brought today, I feel like are scarce today. There are just not many surviving over time in this condition. That obviously is one of the rarest shoes that I certainly have ever seen. But nonetheless, let's go with, let's do, all right, here we go. Okay. So okay. So I'm a Miami guy, born in South Florida, one time for Aventura, the Aventura Mall, Biscayne Boulevard, but the T-Bug flight. Tim Hardaway is one of my all-time favorite basketball players. You guys talked about Timmy in the past.
Yeah.
There's an argument about who has the better crossover, who started the crossover, in my opinion. UTEP two-step.
Yes, sir.
Timmy is, I'm happy that he got into the Hall of Fame. He had a great sneaker rotation over the years. He was really the face of flight.
Yeah.
But as a Miami guy, this is a model that I didn't have back in the day, but from a tech, and design and aesthetic, performance standpoint, this is a must-have, especially for a mid-90s basketball model. But the T-Bug flight, never been retroed. I don't know if they would be willing to do it. Again, just the tech with the monkey paw technology.
Yeah.
Supreme, if you're listening, right?
I know, right?
The orange is my favorite.
Yeah, I love that.
If I can be honest with you, you don't really see this.
You don't really see the shoe in general.
Like am I correct?
No, you're right. Honestly, like if you live that era, you know.
But present day?
Yeah. Honestly, like I could see Supreme does a good job of collaborating with those really awkward looking, designs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they'd take this one as one of their collabs because it has these design things that I feel, align with what Supreme is all about, like outside the box things, T-Bug. Tim Hardaway, I fully agree, man.
And here's the thing I love about this. Like, I love the fashion of sneakers, right? You love the functionality. I'm passionate about the fashion. This,
I like that. That's going to be a good quote. Passionate about the fashion.
Fashion about the fashion. Look at this. Look at how this looks. That's like, Aaron Cooper always says that 50-yard read. Like, when you go like this, that's design-wise, you just don't see that. That's a beautiful design. Then you have the nerve to expose what was hidden from us.
Yeah.
This was always hidden from us.
Yeah.
We had to flap down the old Zoom flights to see the monkey paws. So you give us, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this his first signature, official signature?
Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, that is my understanding from the name T-Bug. That's the model that he was mostly known for and can be remembered for. So in my estimation, in my memory, that is considered his signature.
And it's funny because, when you see this shoe and then you always think of the Bacons and you always think of Tim Hardaway, right? And you always think, okay, that's his signature. But seeing this and then seeing the monkey paws that I've seen in the gloves, I thought, no, this isn't Tim Hardaway's because this is someone else's, right? And I always thought Bacon's was his. Yeah. But you're right, T-Bug, that gave me the indication that it is his shoe too. Honestly, I don't have a lot of memories of him wearing these. Maybe I have some basketball cards here and there, but like it's such a freaking beautiful shoe. The whole flight thing is like he owned that.
And I just noticed something.
You never see a shoe, keyword, let me take that back, not never, but you rarely see a shoe that has full ventilation. Those are holes that goes around.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they expose
What? Full ventilation.
Wow, that's news. Okay.
Like you
I see
always
it now.
have like a ventilation, like maybe like a net or a mesh, but that goes directly inside the sole of the shoe. You don't see that. That's not common.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's crazy.
And it has that wingtip.
Yeah.
It has like a wingtip.
Very formal aesthetic.
Look at that. With the dots that are actually details.
I want to show, just in case the camera doesn't know, and I try to be very careful with it, but, there's an expression like what lies beneath kind of thing. So what makes this particular model so unique and different and iconic, I argue, is, of course, within. So you have the full zipper, the lockdown technology, and then you expose the inner anatomy. Yeah. That's Miami right there. This is 90s Miami. Love their uniforms. You could wear it casually, either open. Yeah. But so anyway, this is one of the models that that I had to bring today. Yeah.
That color, and in addition to like the neon green at that time, was so popular with Nike basketball. If I remember the gear, it had the matching like the hat, the warm up jerseys and the shorts, and you know, that fluorescent color is to me like the staple of like late '90s. Exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to do it until the end. Yes, but you have the shorts right here, and if we take the shoe, we can put it like right in front. I mean, come on, man! Like that's a nice fit, right?
That's a combo.
Is this a champion?
This is actually
The Nike
team issued Nike from '97 to '98. Yeah, I was debating, but you guys mentioned it, and you got to have the props, right?
Exactly.
And the thing about the sneakers, and then you have accessories, right? You accessorize, it accentuate. So I brought, to jump the gun, but I brought a couple of vintage goodies, artifacts, from the same era, and it's a perfect complement. And the logos, the graphic design logos, scored the teams in the '90s. I mean, that's a banger. You could wear it, twice on Sunday. And like I said, I'm a Sixer fan first, but I'm from South Florida. Love the '90s Heat. Yeah. One time for Alonzo Mourning, Dan Marley, Jamal Mashburn,
Jamal Ashburn,
Glenn Rice, Sherman Douglas. That's check your history. But
this
nonetheless,
because this is about to get real cluttered.
Okay.
Right. Well, with a bunch of goodness, man.
Pick a box, man. Cool.
Sure. All right.
You pick a box now.
You said the shoes
And the accessories. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I get dressed, the first thing I choose, I'm like, what shoes do I want to wear? It's like,
and then it goes from there.
Same.
100%.
Yeah.
You want me to choose?
Yeah, pick a pick.
All right. So you know what?
just don't pick this one.
No, I see a Reebok box right here. I don't know if it's Reebok.
Take a refund.
Let me know.
Like what's in it.
All right, there we go. That's our choose.
All right, this is a good one.
We got.
So,
Oh gosh.
So these are
That Randy Moss?
Hold on.
Game worn Randy Moss, 2000.
Oh, come on.
19th,
Randy Moss? 12s?
so he had a famous game, where he shot a catch, threw a lateral, and then they won the game. That was, I think it was October 1903.
Is this their first official Moss? You got Mossed?
Probably.
Right?
He didn't catch it over someone.
He's a lateral. Like he
Lateral.
Got you.
So I'm in the process of trying to get these, wait a minute, and all that. But I'm pretty sure that's the game. It matches them. I photo match them.
Wow. See what that's worth.
Are we holding up here Randy Moss football?
Yep.
Joy 12s?
And the way, when you look at them, you can see all the logos. It's faded now, but all the logos got Sharpied out because at this point in the NFL, you weren't allowed to have logos on your shoes. So if you look at all the PEs from this era, a lot of them are blank.
Yeah.
It's like just a blank.
Wow.
So yeah, these are game worn. That's the date, I think, October 19th.
Easy.
What?
Damn, they're hefty. Okay, they have some heft to it.
I think they have his inserts in them too.
And this is like his little logo in it.
Yeah, exactly. A good thing. I'm glad you brought that up. So he had a shoe called I think it was called the Mossified.
Wow. That's
the logo. Yeah. Oh my God.
This is crazy.
Interesting, because one shoe was blacked out with like purple, one was lighted out with black on the back of the shoe.
Now we've done what year is this?
0304.
Okay, so 0304, but this feels like it was made with 97 in mind. The reason why I say that is because of the leather, the texture.
Yeah.
Right. This is 97 premium.
This is premium.
Jordan 12s are funny to me because if you hold the 97, it's a heavy shoe. Like that shoe was built.
Tanks.
And I remember when I held the 2004 retro, I was like, this is so much lighter than the real one. And now you feel the ones from today, and it's like half of that. So yeah, I agree with you. The shape, the quality, and this tends to happen with some PEs, especially historic ones. They make them out of different material because they need to be, up to the quality needed. So a lot of PEs are made with better quality than the regular release type G. And kind of the other unique thing is the eyelets. Like these are not the eyelets from they're more for a speed lacing.
These eyelets are from a basketball shoe that's the details are coming to me, but not coming to me, excuse me. But yeah, this is from a basketball shoe, this type of eyelet. Was it a Jason Kidd? Anyway.
And it is kind of like the Zoom Fly 5, right?
Zoom
Fly 5 eyelet?
Yeah, am I correct in saying that? Something like that? It's from that, but it resembles that.
But yeah, you can see the grass stains from the game. And
Yeah, I'm noticing those details too, like the wear and tear.
That's kind of what
I use to match them by eye. I just need to do it, officially for them.
Jeez. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I think less than 10 of those probably exist. He wore them 4 games that year.
Nice.
The quality is awesome. I mean, this is the type of quality that I miss, when it comes to the 12s. Yeah. The 12s, original 12s were tanks. These retros are super light. Even at a glance, you can tell, those are retros because they're not the same build, But yeah, these are.
And then when I look at this takes me back to Jordans in the NFL. The Warren Saps. You said the Deons, right? We had, not Keyshawn Johnson, but all these players come to mind where they modified Jordans, they modified 11s, 12s to fit Donovan McNabb, good call. So this takes me back to that era of football because I like football. I'm a 49ers fan. I like football. What you think?
I said that's unfortunate, but
I know. I went to Vegas and I went to Super Bowl. Yeah, but
oh man,
yeah, you remember that. But I'm floored. I've never seen a football PE in my hands before. So this is a Kickstory moment. This is a moment for me, man. This is cool.
The color's awesome too. Yeah, I like that purple.
The one thing I haven't been talking about, like, I wasn't one of those people that just had a deep pocket to buy whatever came out, like, at all. So I used to have to hunt eBay. Like Seth talked about every day. Like I had searches, I'd filter like crazy stuff. And so like these shoes I paid like less than $100 for. Those were free. These I got from a thrift store in Minnesota.
No.
Right? Just that the lady put them on eBay, didn't know what they were. And she just she wrote with like the tag. So if you read the tag, it does say Moss in there.
Yeah.
So Moss was in there, but she didn't write like Jordan 12, like none of that stuff. So a lot of the shoes I didn't pay the price for because I was hunting so hard.
And you, I'm sorry, you can relate to that.
Sometimes when you're in this long enough, you have to overpay, and I'm sure you. But every once in a while, God smiles, right? It's rare that the stars align, or maybe the seller doesn't know what they have, and it's very rare. But sometimes you can find a gem,
and the advantage of living in that era. You know what to look for, what details to look for to say, I know what I'm hunting for. Yeah. And sometimes, you posted something recently that triggered a memory of like, oh, my mom had these. I don't remember the name because we were talking about it, and then I'll have the name now to go off by. So now,
the Adjust Force? Was it the Adjust?
Those white pairs you just Adjust Force, yeah. And
we were debating those because we thought it was the one with the strap.
Yeah, the ones with the strap, the changing the color ones. But stuff like that. So I'm sure when you came across it, you're like, oh, I know what these are because you had the knowledge already.
Feeling, holy shit!
Yeah,
I think I might be able to get this.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
It's like driving for 35 minutes to find parking. You find parking. Yeah, it's like that. Your feelings on steroids.
My feelings will last for the rest of my life. The parking spot is temporary. I used to search for things like pluralized because people pluralize words, and then eBay wouldn't show them. So there's all these things that eBay changes.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Search manipulation. I used to have all these little tricks, and that's how I got almost a lot of my girls.
You know what to look for, all the different combinations of keywords and things like that. Yeah, that's cool.
I would spell Jordan wrong.
I was just thinking that. I think I saw that auction. They spelled Michael Jordan wrong. The first name, like people just get it wrong, and it changes the whole search. Yeah,
but now they correct for it. Like you can't do that anymore. Back in the day, though. But in the day, I would type Jordan like
Jordan
or Jordan.
Right? Am I right? Like UN or
with an O in there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
That's what we used to have to do because you're competing against these people that have unlimited bank, right? So. This is the competitive advantage.
And knowledge. Yeah. How smart. Yeah. How smart. Yeah. How smart you can be.
All right, Separate.
Yeah. Let me see. It's so interesting that we're talking about models, and I know that I brought one. Let me see. Yes, here it is.
Okay, here we go.
Since you're talking about the 12s,
nice.
I figured that why not just as a segue into the original white, blue, obsidian colorway. Yeah. So I actually and played in some of my first Jordans, 9th grade, Air Jordan 11 low, which I actually, as a jumping the gun again, but I brought one pair. That was my first pair of J's in between 8th and 9th grade, somewhere in 96.
Okay. Yep.
But I had 4 of the original colorways except for the white obsidian. Because, as we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
if Mike didn't wear that colorway, I let it go.
And wear more court.
But years later, I found a seller on eBay who lived in Calabasas, local seller, LA area.
Yep.
And I didn't own, that particular colorway. And it's a very rare colorway in Jordan sneaker history. There's a trading card. I think it's Upper Deck at the old Market Square Arena, Indiana Pacers and Reggie Miller. But the point is, it was during a practice session, and MJ was wearing that colorway. So when a size, exactly, there you go. So when that pair, came available, completely dead stock, never laced, original.
I love that. Yeah.
I mean, I had to, years later to try to complete, finish the set. The 12 again, and my man one time for Nightwing, Chris, he talked about on one of his videos the Jordan 12.
Yep.
Zoom Air. These were tanks. You guys just mentioned it. Extremely well made. At profile. I mean, I feel like there's no bad view from an aesthetic standpoint. Yeah. This is one of the again, in my opinion, just one of the most pleasing aesthetics. From a visual standpoint. So we were talking about the Randy Moss PE 12. I wanted to bring it back just a little bit more, but the quality is basically on par. You know what I'm saying? But this is the original model from 97. Never worn on court, so a lot of people, maybe it flies under the radar. Yeah. But, very beautiful blue, great, quality leather. Products designed for the greatest player ever.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I was going to, honestly, I have a lot of, memories on this because I completed my collection of the OGs here. And I actually restored them enough so I can wear them, So and I'm seeing this. The tabs look good. I mean, there's one little crack, but honestly, it's still intact really well. I love the way, it's unlaced still because that's the way they produced the shoes back then. It was just unlaced. You lace them up yourself, and it's super clean. And so I'm really happy you brought this because, like you said, tanks. The quality, the padding, the leather, everything was just a freaking carbon fiber, and you got
real carbon fiber.
Yeah, you got a lot of cool things.
The hint of the color too. With the
Carolina. And then when I was a kid, I always thought these were designed after a sun.
Yeah, it was, the rising sun.
But it was designed after a space shuttle.
Right? Was it
rising? Yeah, it definitely some sort of outer space or natural. Yeah, I think it may be the sun radiation. Yeah,
that's news to me because I got the other way around where it was based off of the rising sun.
I remember they made the rising sun.
Right.
But definitely, you see the radiations there. And definitely, it is out of this world, regardless.
I have because we ended season 1. And it was all about the 12s. It was a dedication. It showed his OG collection and it showed his childhood appeal that he still kept. And I said the Jordan 12 was a pressure shoe because how do you come back from the Jordan 11? How do you guys feel about that?
To me, this is the peak of Nike and shoes in general for me. At least mid-90s basketball and everything. Mid-90s Nike, the turf, the tennis, the basketball. This is the best models of all time are all within those 5 or 6 years. So it might have been hard to have a sequel to the 11 if you want to think of it that way. Yeah. They did it.
They did it.
And then after that, the 13. Right?
Good point. So to me, as long as you're as good as you are, you can keep innovating and one up yourself. Now, to me, the 11's the best, but some people think the 12s are the best. Not a common view, but 12s are kind of I would say top 5 to me.
Okay.
Top 10-ish.
Yeah. It's up there. So I love 12s.
One interesting thing about the 12s, if you look at the Jordan models, they change in shape. And I'm like, how does Jordan change his foot his shape? How does it accommodate him? And I know he had some issues with later in his games about his shoes being too tight and this and that. I was just surprised he went from 11 to a 12 because if you look at the 12 build, it's a lot slimmer. But it worked. But I mean, going back to what you're saying, it had the performance. It had the unique qualities to it.
If you look right here, this is kind of where the width of your
foot would be. It has a little space just in case your foot is wide. So it's got a little bit. I mean, in my opinion, because my foot is wide, so I notice it there. Yeah. But yeah, it's got some space for you. It is a wider shoe.
Yeah. And it does take time to break in. Back in the day, you had to break these shoes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, these new retro flimsies, it doesn't take time to, break them in because you just wear them. It's just so loose,
Got the colors.
We
got the quality, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
So here's the thing. We have. I mean, you guys got some heat, right? That we're not. It's just gone. We're not
done.
at the crux.
Yes. Scratch the surface.
Right.
So do we take this, put on the side, and then we go with
Let's
a
do
new
that.
batch?
Let's do that. Let's clean our palette. Let's clean our palette. Let's go one step at a time. Let me help you out here.
Yep.
And so it's gonna be.
We got
Bajaj, it's gonna be your turn. Yeah, it's gonna
Camera's rolling.
Yeah.
it's all good. Cameras rolling. We're gonna do. We knew this is how we
Make sure we clean stuff up.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna put it back.
Okay, we go right here. We go right there. Clean the palette, like Bob
Yeah,
said.
go ahead.
Yep. You can bring them all to me.
I'll reach for what's on top. And
Cool,
see
cool,
what it
cool.
is.
Okay.
Awesome. So we got another.
And then now, if we're going back and forth, give and go basketball, it's your turn.
Okay, so
This turn.
is
I'm
another
gonna
for
shoot
you,
right
right?
here.
For me, that's important in my, my life, my collection. Listen, that the first shoe I ever bought with my own money was
Okay.
Jordan 15.
Okay.
People don't love 15.
I do.
Tinker doesn't even really love 15. Right?
I'm
Let's talk
surprised.
about them.
Fighter Jet, right? Fighter Jet.
Yeah, it's just I think it's X15, right? So these shoes are awesome to me, but not everyone thinks that way.
But so this is a Ray Allen
Oh,
version from the
But-
Bucks.
Oh, so if you look on the inside, purple, green, white on the inside. That's the only hint of green on the real shoe. But white and purple, they made the Team Bank colorway Sprinkler, which was on East Bay. But this is the pair made for Ray Allen, 34 green on the inside, his size at the time at least.
Oh God.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite shoes. This is one of my early PEs that I ever bought too.
Ray Allen, 34 green.
And if you look at the boxes on these, they all are like Team Bank boxes. So it's the white Midnight Navy box. This is actually the box that these PEs came in. And some people even got them at the outlets in Beaverton or in the headquarters.
PEs?
Yeah, they used to be in there. Like everything was just mixed in, whatever was left over.
So this is like
And in that old
I got you. I
late,
got you.
late 90s and before, it wasn't as
serious as it is now.
Gotcha. So there are dead stock PEs out there. I always had the impression that PEs, they were worn. All of them were worn. But there's some out there that are like ready to be worn but never got.
They cheap for the
Yes.
season, not everyone
Got
wore
it,
them,
got
but
it.
Sometimes they do
like friends and family now, and even back then. So yeah, the leftovers. A
fire.
lot of times the leftovers would just be in outlets. Or they even had programs where they would give out shoes.
to homeless people in Portland, and they would give
They're wearing
whenever there's
PEs.
You're like in Portland, you're like, holy shit.
This guy's wearing like $1,000 shoe.
Wow.
I had no idea. Right?
Wow.
One of the shoes that I saw like that were Gloria LeBron 2s.
On a homeless guy's foot, and I'm
White and pink.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
interesting.
15s are probably one of my favorite I guess the Jordans that he never wore. Honestly, I do. I really like this shoe. I really like this shoe. This reminds me of a shoe he would wear. And to me, it was. I guess it was Jordan's. It wasn't really his favorite. And this little thing, people didn't like this, but this was supposed to resemble his.
A lot of things.
Yeah, people resembled this as his tongue.
Yeah.
I can see where you. Okay.
But they did say for him wagging his tongue.
Yeah,
Pause, right?
this whole thing.
They were a little hard to put on, but
I'm gonna get a pair. I really like the Dornbecker ones, the black and gold.
oh wow.
They look luxurious. I don't know.
You know what?
they made a laser version, white, black, and gold. That was pretty cool too.
Call me crazy. For me, I recently just got the latest retro dead stock from eBay. Good price. I love the Jordan 16s.
Oh yeah, 16s are great.
I love the 16s. 16s.
Specifically white and navy. I mean, I love the black ones. They had that Prada feel to it, but the
That's
white,
how they were designed to look like a dress shoe.
right. But I love that. But these are
I'm gonna get a pair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a pair. I like the build. This reminds me of a Jordan shoe, like he would have worn. But
There's a green version too. There's a
Ray Allen.
green version
Seth.
that I could never get a hold of.
Wait.
Who designed this? Tinker.
oh, that's right. And I guess it wasn't his favorite. That's crazy. You want to put it here?
From the story that I've heard, it's that he
Didn't really get to finish making them what he wanted them to be.
So it wasn't like a finished product.
I feel like it was rushed, maybe in the process. Maybe I mean, and T talked about following up. The crescendo.
Yep.
I mean, it's they have a timeline to work with, and it was a tough time in his life. It was an emotional video for those who may have not seen it, but it's probably the most thought provoking. Emotion producing. It's very polarizing.
Yeah.
Either you love it or you hate it.
That's it.
Yep. And I want to say one more thing about the 15, and T and I were talking about this earlier. For a very long time, I refused to buy the 15 or any model that Mike did not wear in an NBA game.
Yeah.
He did wear a pair in a photo shoot.
That's right.
Off River, Culver City.
Yeah.
Right? Years ago. In 2000, I believe.
Wow.
Approximately 99, 2000. But for years, I wouldn't touch it because he didn't wear it. But about 2 or so years ago, I finally gave in. And there's a lot of 15 collectors. There is the hardcore community interest for like the 15 and 16.
Well, these are people my age. This is
Yep.
like,
But this is a very provocative model. It's either it's like Allen Iverson. You either love me or you hate me, and there's nothing in between, right? And it's a very memorable, model. So very cool that you brought that.
And
Very cool.
Like Christian, and this is his favorite shoe. He like every color. So there are people out there that love the 15.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a specific like group for the 15. That's
that passion.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Quick one for me. I'm in college. We're looking at like 2000, right? It came out in 2000.
Yeah.
Right. 2000. Right. Towards the end, before the introduction of the 16s, college get my East Bay magazines. East Bay had the white and gray that had 3M hints. Got for $39.99. East Bay.
Yeah,
And Grays.
good old days.
Ironically, that was actually the first color I bought. And then I like the white and navies more than the low tops.
Yeah. Oh, low tops. It's Jordan back.
Summertime, yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually went back to the store, returned the grays, and then used the money to buy the low tops.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope.
When you can get sales shoes like that during $9.
East Bay, man. I was getting Lisa Leslie's for $19.99.
I was just getting kicks for $20 with East Bay.
Bring back East Bay.
Those days are on.
No.
All right. Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get this going. Let me see. I'm looking in my bag.
Dope shit.
Let's do. Okay. So every collector, you should have offhand, you should know your top 3, top 5.
Mm-hmm.
My all-time favorite sneaker, and I'm not the only one in the world, but I love, Air Zoom Flight 95, number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, Ergo LWP. I believe this was another Eric Avar design.
Yes.
I'm going to pass this around. This is my second favorite sneaker of all time. So many guys wore this model back in the day. 95 All-Star Game.
Tim Hardaway Golden State?
He actually had, that's a grail. There's a guy, I forgot where he is on Instagram, and you do it long enough, you learn where certain models are. So there's a guy, I forgot his name, but he has a sample unworn pair with MEE on the heel, which was Mini E Eubanks. That was Tim Hardaway's grandmother's initials. All of Timmy's pairs had MEE on the heel, okay? And he has Timmy's black and white pair, basic colorway, black and white, unworn, size 12, 12 and a half, which is my size range. And that's a grail. Sometimes grails are not meant to come home, but I love the Ergo LWP.
The colorway, too.
Yeah, I love that colorway.
Can I say one thing about
Yes,
this?
of course, man.
I have a recent Kickstory on this. Not me on it, it's a story. If you're listening, I know you are, John Zarconi, this is for you. Z, my boy I went to college with, this is for you. He's not a sneakerhead, but he had kicks, and he said, I'm looking for these sneakers, and it just had a white check on the right pinky toe. And he described it, and I went on Google, and it was this. And he went crazy for this. So Z, this is for you because I helped you look for your childhood, your teenage sneaker.
That's it.
And all you did was describe it to me, so I had to shout you out this episode.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that's a little Kickstory.
They did a retro, which paled in comparison. Of course, most things cannot touch, the original in terms of construction, tech, design, proportions, ratios. Former Kansas City Royals World Series champion Jeremy Guthrie, one time for my man Jeremy. Jeremy loves the Ergo. And this is a classic. I mean, Mookie Blaylock, Gary Payton,
Penny Hardaway.
Penny, of course. Yeah, we could go on and on. There's a Reggie Miller, but nonetheless, just so many iconic, players at the time wore this model. And there's not enough I could say about it. Of course, I'm not going to, go on a diatribe, but this is a top 3 for me personally. And, it's just beautiful to look at.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, completely dead stock. Yeah, never worn. It's laced. The other pair is not laced. The mate, I should say. I think I have like 4 pairs. One of which, interestingly, is signed by Mookie Blaylock, which was an eBay find back in the day.
Nice.
This pair I've had. In fact, I'll jog your memory. There was a seller on eBay in 06 named Christmas 02. Yeah. Christmas, you know, that's the thing about vintage is that you don't know where it is, who has it necessarily. You have to be ready. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get ready. If you say again, don't sleep. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And this seller, Christmas 02, was her name. She had multiple pairs. I think it was her husband, boyfriend, whatever. All in my size range, all dead stock. But she put them on at the same time. This was like 05, 06.
Okay.
And, you know, budget, I was, you know, younger at the time in school, whatnot, and you can't have it all. Scarface, the world is yours, but when you're young and going through the struggle, you have a budget, and that's it, and you have to let certain things go.
You can have it all set. You just can't have it all at once.
Okay, look at that clue. Yeah, there you go. Now that but this pair, like I was, you know, all in. I own, I think, 4 pairs right now. Obviously, I will never stop hunting. This is a top 3, and I had to bring it and show today. So
top 3.
There you go.
Thank you for watching this episode of Kickstory. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And stay connected with us on Instagram and these podcast platforms listed here. We also want to hear from you. So make sure to comment below and give us your thoughts. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you next time.